Hello everybody, I'm getting too old for this stuff. I shouldn't have finished this book. Let's get started and talk about it. I don't know why I do this to myself, guys, but there's a book and I listened to it on audio. So while I was doing other things, I would have it playing in the background. And I'm going to tell you something. It was painful, number one. I don't know why I forced myself to listen to it, but I was already so far into the book, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to write down that I skimmed it. So I already know who's guilty. I already had figured it out at the beginning of the book, but I'm just going to listen to the end. At least the last few chapters were really interesting or kind of got good, but didn't even get halfway decent until the last two chapters of the book. But, and also I didn't know this when I read it, but it's a young adult book. I think this is my opinion. For me, I don't relate to young adult, high school type, age group type stuff. I didn't realize it. And it was rated really high. Like everyone's like, oh, you got to read this book. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so twisty. Oh, it's so turny. Well, I'm not even joking. It literally took 2.5 hours of listening before it even got into the book. The book's called, I shouldn't have finished it. That's not the name of the book. The book is called Nothing Bad Happens Here by Rachel, Eskram, I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She may have written other good books, but this book, other people, supposedly everybody writes it good. See, that's my problem, guys. When I see a book that almost everybody loves it, oh, you got to read it, I think, oh, I'm going to love it too. And then I listened to it, and it was literally so boring. And it drug, it's almost like if you read a book and they say, I got up, I put a purple shirt on, I had a piece of toast, I walked down the hall. And they go into every description of every little thing you do. That's kind of what this book did. But the main character, her name was Lucia. She had a traumatic experience back home. And her mom now has a new boyfriend. And they're moving him to Nantucket to get out of there. And Lucia meets some people that she thinks are friends. Anyway, so Lucia's out and about. And this happens 2 hours into the book, mind you. And she I don't remember if she was by herself, but she finds someone unalived in the water. It was traumatizing. It reminds her of something from the past. And it's like, who unalived this person? And supposedly nobody on this small island knows who this person is. So it's kind of the story of that. But at the beginning, towards the beginning of the book, actually, the book didn't really get started now, like I said, till a couple hours in. And these audiobooks can be quite long. I think this one was like 10 hours. Anyway, so I just listened to like an hour a day or something. But I already had figured out who was guilty. I already had it figured out, okay? It was quite obvious, but it's called Nothing Bad Happens Here. Just one of the things to be conscientious of is when you pick some of these books out, whether it's a love story, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with young adult, but you may feel, at least I do, that it's not relatable to what's going on in your life. At least it isn't for me. But it was so long and it drug out. I literally probably would give it a 1.5 star, but I made myself finish it. I thought, Dawn, be patient. Now, maybe I would give it 2 stars because it did the last couple chapters were good, but the character, and part of the reason I didn't love the book is, number one, it drug on, it was super long and boring, and it belabored every point. The other thing is the main character was just not very bright. Some of these characters in these books, she just did not get it, and things were so obvious, and she, couldn't figure out who her real friends were when it was so obvious with how they treated her. But anyway, I thought I'd mention it. Do you guys ever read a book? Do you force your way through, or do you just give it up? It was an audio book, and it was just really, but it's rated really high. That's why I tell you guys, a lot of these books that I think are boring, you might think are the best books. And I want to ask you this, if you've been watching me for a while, are there any books that I said were really boring, but you really loved them? We all have different opinions, so I want to be respectful to everybody. It may just be my attention span. Let me know what you guys think. Love you, appreciate you, and I hope to see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.